Welcome back to Monogatari, a show where the world itself is topsy-turvy, things are not quite what they seem, ever, but more so now. But most importantly, a show where you start to question morality and what is real by taking a bath with someone's mother. Wait, this should be a fun one though, so shall we see what's in store for us? You see, at the beginning I was thinking this is kind of a cool little song, but it's more off-putting now that I know that everything it represents and the people themselves who have changed. But considering this is the last episode of Monogatari, I wonder how it is going to go down, what big life lesson Ougi is going to learn. Because I think I remember Monogatari taking place further on in the future with him in college and with long hair, so something at least goes on. Who wouldn't want to cosplay as Ougi? If that wasn't a piercing stare, I don't know what was. Okay. Well, Ougi himself was a figment of Araragi. How did the rest of the world see them? I didn't like that close-up. Yeah. Just because it seemed everything is heading that direction and everything was mirrored. Maybe he enjoyed it. In catalogues for leggings and tights and whatnot, they used to use men's legs for some reason, probably because they're more defined. I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, maybe he did look good. Because it's funny. Yeah, and no clear answers. She rescued him in the beginning, but hasn't really done much more than that. I will agree with him there. In a situation like this, it's better than just kind of going with the flow. Another element of Ougi that I appreciate here is when Ougi was wearing the female uniform and had long sleeves covering the hands. This version, oh, I like that illustration, has gloves on instead. Yes, please present it. And any supporting evidence. Yeah, you can say that. Hmm. But were they, or were they not directly linked? It's all part of the big tapestry of life. Like, yes. So far, it's just recollecting what has happened. This isn't a hypothesis. A commemorative photo might be quite good, actually. I mean, that would explain a lot, but it'd also be one of those really kind of lame cop outs of oh, enough. None of it was real. It was all just in Koyomi's comatose mind. Thus, I don't think it would be quite so simple as to it was just a dream. Unless he's suffering from extreme schizophrenia. I don't like the single repeated note constantly. He would have had a nice sleep, I guess. It'd be a, a lot of rest that he got, but yeah. What the hell was that face? Tehete nandayo! Once again, just coming in with the more ideas of what was going on, but in reality, not really doing much. Um, I was actually slightly happy before I saw pretty Koyomi, but still. Why is there a Marilyn Monroe vent? How would their lives have panned out if she had moved in? Huh. Okay. Strangely enough, I can guess. Well, I can appreciate that Ougi would have some sort of ability like that, considering she is an offshoot of him. So being a reflection. What? Why are you assuming that you're going to get a clear cut answer? Okay. Imagine looking out the window and just seeing white noise. Complete static. Mm-hmm. Aragi has. This is a common thread, but sacrificed himself countless times. That's a dark screen. Or if they're one of the same, then maybe. That was a look of disappointment. Has anyone taught you how mirrors work? I mean, I don't know on the specificity of how 80% how close that is to the real number. Yeah, why'd you go there? But sure, the photons hitting the mirror that are reflected to your eyes are going to lose energy on that journey. Some are going to get refracted off. That cloud looks like a chicken. High five. Going with the flow, apparently. Sure. What is this hypothesis you're going for though? I suppose. Don't make me remember. I I cannot appreciate how much you. I can't appreciate you enough, Aragi, for actually asking. Ooh, nice organ work. Hmm. I don't believe it would be quite as simple as just running at a bathroom mirror, but ha! I don't know that legend, but the world itself is the world that he has always resided in. He has just warped it by restoring that 20%. It's a lot for a 20%, though. Yeah, he's made some acquaintances. Of course, the only thing that makes sense is that the antagonist all along was Araragi himself. How many times had he destroyed the world, but then again, fixed it? And how is it going to be solved in the few minutes left? Well, just dissipate that extra that he's brought into the world. brought into being. I would be heavily shocked if he wasn't under constant surveillance. That's a face you want to see when you open your curtains in the morning. to So the versions of what they have become now are what, not versions of what could have been, but more what the elements of themselves that they regret to have never been. And now, for the sake of everyone, this mirror world needs to cease. Although, was that a play on the optical illusion with the spinning dancer? About which way it's actually rotating? Fair enough, but as long as she doesn't attack on sight, that's alright. Counter! Discombobulate! Foolish, but ultimately successful. I. Ougi's not going to be easily let off, considering the vast abilities that we've seen and the power. I can't look at this sepia film grain scene, hear the word failsafe without thinking of Tranquility Lane from Fallout. And I'm sure Aragi himself won't be able to learn to like this world, but at the same time, that was a chair. The fact that Ougi understands what's going on and is giving Koyomi a way forward and answers is kind of odd, considering Ougi is him. I wish I could talk to the side of myself that actually knows the answers. Okay, is she Wile E. Coyote? A Looney Tunes, just put that on a wall and you can walk through it. Oh! Okay, it's the other side of the coin, per se. I can't remember what that paint substance is called, but there's a black which is like 99.9% absorption. That's actually really quite cool to look at. Hmm. Why does it sound like a what, like a farewell? Quite useful that Hachikushi was enrolled as a god then. It's like they're separated by glass. I did not like that, like fisheye lens. Hmm. Because it's Araragi. That's what he does. But the something off was probably Ougi, since she already admitted to doing something. Okay, so if it wasn't Ougi, the face in the mirror wasn't doing anything. She's telling him to soul searching and self reflection. And what? So it's once again something that Araragi did. How much of what's got to happen is because of Araragi's mental state? Yeah, understand. Can you get away from the ledge? Not that way, though. I saw mini Hajikushi there for a few frames, so it did seem to everything is worked out. Morning. I'm actually kind of glad I didn't see the other side. Extra 20% Hitagi. Still gonna hurt your neck. Are there signs where people are ballroom dancing on it? I do like how through all of. Okay. Um, what has transpired on all of this? What started off in Bake was still keeping up with Hitagi. Also, how many people can you have a conversation with where it's like, oh, I looked in the mirror and it wasn't reflecting correctly. The version of me wasn't doing anything, and they actually listen to you. without referring you to a mental institute. So, because Koyomi himself didn't want to throw away a part of him that what he was repressing, he managed to change the entire world. I wish I had that kind of power. Actually, no good would come of it. But sentimentality and nostalgia and whatnot isn't inherently a bad thing. In a sense, yes. Believe that I'm the kind of curious type that would actually want to see everyone that I know and what it is that they have morphed into. The thing is, it wasn't an artificial mirror world, though. It was a enhanced version of our own, or his own. So the repressed emotions and feelings that Araragi had were pulled across, and the repressed emotions that everyone else had, I think that's been explained quite often, were pulled across as well. Ah, I see that one now. So a bit of everything that has happened. And we still got no extras, no background characters. Is he going to keep it till the very end? Or is he going to be a bit more part of the world? There are things that I regret. There are things I regret doing. There are things I regret not have done. Or not doing. But all you can do is take that history and use it to forge the future. Boy! That's a bit smooth. Yeah, she says that, but Senju isn't going to let him go. She'll drag him along kicking and screaming if she has to. I have actually had that thought, yes. Which leg is my dominant one? How do I start my stride? And then you get into a vicious circle about thinking it, yes. But at the same time, it's somewhat irrelevant. No bearing on fate. Yeah, it's irrelevant technically, but you still dwell on it. There's a lot of crossings on this. There are a lot of illustrations and art pieces in this episode. If you can't decide, go with both. Leap. You actually have to appreciate how gung-ho Sensogahara is. Always playing catch-up, though. It was a journey that I don't think any of us will really want to forget. Didn't actually hurt that time. Then again, didn't do it properly. And as a story as a whole, where it actually it has an ending. He let go of the side of him that he was repressing or holding on to, or whichever way it was. And then moving forward into the future, where there's always room for Hitagi. But like what was said with Toet, where Gain was keeping her around in that world by her memory of her sister. How do we remember those that have departed? Is it a true reflection of their character, who they were? Or is it a version of them that we have built up in our own heads? A pale imitation? And actually, thinking about it, Monogatari is... Most of the problems in Monogatari have stemmed from people not holding... Well, not processing their emotions correctly. Or, well... Sensogahara with her feelings of her mother and the cult and everything that has happened, taking it upon herself and hating herself. Kamru with the over-aggressive solution to her problems, etc., etc. I'm not sure if it was the actual message of the show for this, but I'm going to take it as that. And with that said, sometimes you can let things go. Move on with the future and with your life. You don't have to dwell on your failings. Although I wish there was a better outcome for Oikura. Monogatari is going to be a show which is going to be very difficult to forget. I've forgotten a lot of what's happened, granted, but at the same point, the main elements are going to stick with me, and I think that's really what matters. If nothing else, anytime I think of Whiplash, I'm going to remember Monogatari. Wonder why that is. But like I said before, this is an end of an era. So it is up to you to tell me how to continue. Use the link in the description to head over onto my Discord, where I believe there's still a poll going on as to what will be replacing it. Although if you're watching this too far in the future, you've missed your chance. Better luck next time. But stick around, eh? But if you enjoyed the fables and stories and Monogatari as a whole, then let me know by leaving a like on the video. And if you want to see me in the same regalia as Koyomi and have that wonderful uniform and skirt, and subscribe to the channel. If enough of you do it, then I'm sure peer pressure will actually make that a reality. Look forward to the future, though. Get some rest, so I can see you there.
If there's one thing I've learned, is if you don't like the world, change it to suit yourself. And with that in mind, if you want to meld reality to what you see fit, then join on to my Patreon to help both me and my channel. So far, Sal, Raywin, Dynamite1997, Shiwan, Stinsfire, Mecha, Jennifer Rojas, Big Boy, Dark Shadow 7899 and everyone else have done a lot more than just 20%.